Hey, this is a subject I was going to speak about before, but I never got around to it. I want to talk about some footage that was filmed at Manchester Airport back in September. This is December now, so we're talking 3 months ago. Basically, it shows some baggage handlers not just carelessly handling people's bags, but literally throwing them till they fall out of the trolley, the carrier mechanism trolley. I'm going to say it from the outset, I think it's disgusting. It's a disgusting way to treat other people's property. And the worst thing about it was the woman who was filming it, it was her very bag that they were throwing out. Now, they'd probably pick it up to put it back in, but the sheer carelessness and selfishness of these pricks, I'm sorry for the profanity, but well, that's what they are. These guys are dickheads, and I hope they lost their jobs. Because when you're given a job, it's a position of responsibility, whatever job that is. I don't know what sort of wages they get or anything like that. And I've always been an advocate of, fair employee conditions. But having a job that might be menial, that might be boring, whatever excuse they might come up with, is no excuse for treating other people's property like that. I really hope these two were fired, and I hope before they were fired they got a major, major bollocking. And I have zero sympathy with them. It would be an absolute disgrace if they weren't fired. Um, I mean, really, what a pair of dickheads. I understand that there's time pressure. I understand that they need to get, these things done quickly. But surely, I mean, I would like to know how baggage handlers are trained. I really would. Because we've all had an experience where we're in an airport, we get our stuff, and something is damaged. It's almost inevitable when you're on a long haul flight. You almost expect it. It's not to say that it happens every time, but there's a very strong possibility. And when you look at situations like this, it's no wonder. So if there is more scrutiny of baggage handlers, then so be it. And to those, decent baggage handlers who don't treat people's property like this, well, they can blame these two idiots for giving, them a bad image. People are not going to trust baggage handlers after things like this. And I very much doubt this is an isolated incident. If you're a baggage handler, I don't mean any disrespect to you personally, but you must recognize why this sort of thing pisses people off. And, some people might say might sympathize with them because it's not, I don't know what the wages are. They might say it's a menial job. They're taking out their frustration or something. But in the end of the day, it's their job. It's their responsibility. And my sympathy lies with people who may well have saved for months on end, looking forward to a holiday, then it gets tampered, tempered, I should say, by this sort of selfish behaviour. Because having damaged property, I mean, those are people's personal things. So I think it's disgusting, and these two idiots need to be ashamed of themselves. It's a good thing it was filmed. If this wasn't filmed, then, they would get away with it. So I really hope Manchester Airport has a major review of its baggage handlers. If that means more training, so be it. And if they complain about it, then they can blame these two idiots. I really have no sympathy for any excuses because this is someone else's property. It's disgusting. I mean, if I borrow something from someone, I'm not going to borrow a book from someone and spit in it and crumple the pages up. No, I'm going to treat it with respect because it's someone else's property. That's what these guys need to realize. It's someone else's property. How would they like it if their personal stuff was thrown around by total strangers who were powerless to do anything about it? I mean, that would be the most frustrating thing for me actually seeing it. It's good that she saw it because she filmed it. Um, and it also raises one more point. Viral videos can be have a negative side, but the age of the internet and this sort of medium where we can film these things and put them online, it can have advantages as well. Because without that, it would be very difficult to prove anything, and it would be very difficult to then get consequences. Let's call it justice in a non. Well, I was going to say a non-criminal sense, but I would not stop at saying there's a level of criminal damage in that. I mean, in the end of the day, it's basically what is the difference between that, recklessly throwing someone's bag and not caring? I mean, it's not like they didn't see. The guy threw the woman's bag and he could clearly see it fell off the carrier and he didn't even bother to pick it up. I mean, who are these guys? How the hell did they get that job? I know, I'm not vilifying baggage handlers. There was a famous case in Britain about 11 years ago now at the Glasgow airport attack. There was a baggage handler there who was heroic. So, I'm not smearing an entire profession, but I am saying that when people are entrusted with a job like that, they should damn well do it properly. And that means treating other people's property with respect. I get that they need to do it quickly, so I'm not, expecting them to wrap bags in cotton wool, but just remember that that is someone else's property. And if this opens up scrutiny of baggage handlers, then so be it. That's necessary.